Thunder versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
Alone give me strength.
Not sure what I want against Priest, but it's probably not these cards. Probably just really want the weapon. And it looks like I nailed it. This hand is really good. So given that I drew the weapon, I probably will not play this on turn 1, because it's more valuable as a weapon activator. Yep, past turn 1, as I said, want to hold the probe. Interesting that he would play that out there. I don't think you play that out in the Highlander matchup, Highlander Mirror, but I don't really play Highlander Priest all that much, so maybe it's good. Especially if he has like a Talon Priest follow-up.
Is someone injured?
Okay, still haven't really seen anything that tells me that much about his deck. Let's just throw this down and then be really upset when he's playing Acidic Swamp Ooze. I can go for Radiant Elemental Probe Power Word Shield here. Can guarantee a dragon with a coin. I do burn a lot of stuff right before Lyra or Gadgetzan Auctioneer can come down. But I don't think I can really just play Lyra into a board like this anyway. Let's just start with the Radiant Elemental. See where the turn takes us. Hopefully I don't have to burn the coin here. I do have to burn the coin here. That's fine. Got a 5/5 out of the deal. Pretty interesting that I stole free from Amber. I guess that tells me he's... Well, he's also playing Shadow Visions, so he's not a Spiteful Summoner list. I don't really know what he's playing. That sucks. I believe that was a second Shadow Visions too. So it's not Highlander Priest. This was not playable last turn, right?
What?
And nothing that I've had die is a Death Rattle minion. But it still cares whether or not I have had a minion die. That's actually pretty interesting. Well, I'm just going to tempo out a Lyra here. Sometimes it sticks. It's going to be a while before I can get another dragon, by the looks of things. Oh, looks like my Lyra lived, though. That is definitely the card you like to see when you have a Lyra sticking on the board. Sure. Mind Blast, that's a playable. Suppose I play the playable. Circle of Healing seems like a really bad play. God, I have no clue what he's playing. Kinda tempted to kill a Radiant Elemental instead of a Cleric. Radiant Elementals are scary. There was some chance that if I killed the Cleric there, I could just circle and make another dragon, but that was pretty unlikely. I have a Shadow Word Death for that, that's no big deal. Oh, so I can potion the Cleric, circle to draw cards, but I don't want to draw cards. Probably just want to go ahead and start with a Death. Another circle. Well, double circle doesn't really make him overdraw because everything will be fully healed. Oh, I guess maybe I should have started with this. So many circles. Oh, I don't have room in my hand, do I? Well, that was obviously a mistake. Well, it kind of worked out. But yeah, I definitely should have circled instead of playing the Shadow Visions. Man, when you play cards that actually give you other cards, it's so hard to keep track of Lyra. With the rope going and the hand filling up, and sometimes you get 2 cards instead of 1, and also I'm shitty at Hearthstone. It's a lot of things to keep track of.
My hand is full.
Okay, I have 15 on board. Do I really not have lethal? Alright, let's start with a Shadow Word Horror, I guess. Because I want to be able to use this circle. Okay, that's lethal. Make another dragon, though, before he dies. Man, Lyra is such a good card when it doesn't die. Like, maybe one of the best cards when it doesn't die.
Randa versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
Alone give me strength.
Try to find that weapon, I think. Nailed it. Seems like a good turn to get this equipped. Throw down a nice loot hoarder, I suppose. I guess it's a bummer if he has like Wild Pyromancer Potion of Madness or something. But it's pretty hard for him to efficiently kill it after stealing it with the potion. Do I even want to play this here? I guess it's pretty likely to find a 1-mana spell. And then maybe I can Shadow Word Pain my old loot hoarder or something. Maybe I can make a dragon here. So is Psionic Probe or Power Word Shield better? Probably the Power Word Shield. I mean, the stat buff from it doesn't really do much, but it's basically draw a card from my deck or draw a card from his deck. His deck is probably better than mine. I still think I want to draw a card from my deck, though. Wow, 2 Shadow Word deaths. That's gotta be one of the worst cards in my deck. Oh, okay. If he's playing dragons, then Shadow Word Death is pretty solid. I assumed he was just playing Highlander. So given that he has a 5/6 on the board, I can Shadow Word Death, Silence, but I can't play the Twilight's Call because I haven't had 2 minions die. Did he coin just so he didn't overdraw? Oh, I can play the Twilight's Call. So you have to have 1 minion die for this to be active? I don't know, this card has weird rules. Made another 5/5, hell yeah. Starting next turn, he can have Psychic Scream. So I probably don't want to go too all in making a dragon next turn. Although, just looking at my hand, it seems like I probably won't even have the option to do that. Although, I don't know, I'm getting another card out of the loot order most of the time here. But still, the point remains. I need to be worried about Psychic Scream coming down next turn. And then the turn after that is the Shadow Reaper turn. Potion of Madness off the operative. It's kind of a bummer. But that loot hoarder did contribute to me making a 5/5, so that's cool. You did a good thing, loot hoarder.
Is someone injured?
He has 8 cards in hand, so I can't really make him overdraw here. I could steal the Northshire Cleric, draw a card with it, Shadow Word Paint it, and then maybe play another spell off the top of my deck to make a dragon. But like I said, scary threats for the dragons are coming out in the next couple turns. So I think I just won't do that. It's also pretty inconsistent. Very often I don't draw a 2 or less cost spell. Although it does seem like this might just be a Dragon Priest, not so much like a Highlander Priest with dragons in it. So there probably isn't a Psychic Scream in his deck, actually. But going for the card off the top to activate the Dragon Soul was still a little bit risky. And if I missed, I just burned the Potion of Madness for no reason. So I think I do prefer this line. There's that Psychic Scream I was worried about. Well, I'm just gonna kill his guy and then push 5-10 more face damage. Shadow Reaper Anduin is the obvious answer here. If he doesn't have it, he's gonna be in some trouble. Stole my Shadow Reaper Anduin. I'll just play this thing, I guess. It's cool. I'll just kill him with Yogg next turn. Oh, I'm just dead. Okay. Man, Draconid Operative OP.
Tyrande versus Valeera.
Watch your back. Alone give me strength.
Try to find the weapon. I might be willing to keep like Potion of Madness or Shadowward Pain or something in this matchup. But Loot Hoarder just dies to Patches or a dagger, so that doesn't seem great. Jade Shuriken. Okay. Always happy to see that guy. Heal pass. I don't think I need to kill Patches that desperately. But I also don't really want to give it more health. Pass the turn once again. Wow. If he's playing Swashbuckler, he probably should not have drawn Patches in his opening hand. That was definitely a misplay. Try to find some more Jade cards. Unlucky. Well, let's kill this guy. Find a target for the Power Word Shield. And I think I hold the backstab. I don't really need to kill Patches that desperately, and I can combo it with Gadgets and Auctioneer in a couple turns. Let's just go for Lyra backstab. In my games with this deck, the Lyra tends to just live very often. So we'll see if it just lives here. I'm not expecting it to, because he's a non-Keleseth rogue, therefore Eviscerate. But Lyra's out of range of like SI7 agent. Maybe he just doesn't have the Eviscerate, maybe he can't really combo a Vile Spine Slayer effectively. Still needs to find one more damage. Band of Knives is indeed one more damage. Wonder if I just play a Gadgets and Auctioneer here. I don't think I really have a read on an Eviscerate because that clear seemed pretty good. So maybe I should try to hold the Auctioneer, maybe turn 7 with a Power Word Shield. This could be a good spot to just go ahead and use my Purify. It's not that easy to use Purify with my deck, because I don't really want to silence most of my guys. Alright, let's Purify. Oh god, I'm dumb! I could have gone like heal, trade, and then it would have been a 1-2, and then I silence it down to a 1-1. I guess if I'm playing the other Power Word Shield on it, it's fine. Definitely could have thought that through a little bit more. I ended up not using the heal on it though. So this probably ended up working out better actually. Well, that sucks. I killed 4 of my cards. I think I'm just gonna hit him. Don't have a good way to use my Auctioneer here. Maybe I can hold it for a Radiant Elemental combo. Oh no. Well, I have Shadow Word Pain at least. So only one random priest spell. What can Shadow Visions find me? Dragonfire Potion would be really good. Psychic Scream. I'd have to coin the Psychic Scream, that doesn't seem great. I'll just play it. Dragonfire Potion's the best. There we go. But even if I didn't hit the Dragonfire Potion, it was reasonably good.
There once was a man from Gilneas.
I could go Auctioneer, coin, double Radiant Elemental, Shadow Word Pain, and then in theory the two Silences and the Shadow Visions and the Shadow Word Pain would both be really good draws. Maybe it's better to go for a single Radiant Elemental. I mean, I'm definitely playing Auctioneer Coin here, I think. So we'll just see where it goes. Oh, I drew another Shadow Word Pain. So I think I do just go double Radiant Elemental. Pain for 0. Pain for 0. Alright. It looks like even if I draw my weapon, I will not be making too many dragons out of it. But this is going to be a fat Yogg-Saron. Okay, that's his Lyra card. And I think he's only played one Swashbuckler, so everything else in his hand should be from his deck.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
He is playing Mistress, pretty common in Jade Rogue. Might suggest N'Zoth. Seems like just playing Shadow Reaper in here is good.
The light has betrayed me.
Hero power down the ooze. If I make this trade, he's just gonna dagger into it. He might just make this trade dagger anyway, so I'll just get 2 damage in. 2 damage is actually pretty relevant. Karen Bloodhoof. Well, I think if he's playing Karen, it's like 100% a N'Zoth in that deck. Maybe I need to hold this Psychic Scream as an anti-N'Zoth card. The Dragonfire Potion's also pretty good against N'Zoth. So I could just Scream here to buy a little bit of time. His N'Zoth only pulls back like 1 Mistress and 1 Jade Swarmer at this point. So I don't think I should be too worried about it. On the other hand, should I be that worried about this Karen Bloodhoof? Probably not. So let's just Loot Hoarder and hit him for 4. Next turn I can play the Twilight's Call, get a Gargoyle and a Loot Hoarder. I'm not honestly sure if I should be drawing cards with Loot Hoarder at this point. I'm pretty low on cards. Only 5 left. That's kind of brutal. Okay, well, Psychic Scream for sure this turn. Oh, I probably should have played Twilight's Call instead of the Gilded Gargoyle. I'm just kind of on autopilot there. That was a really, really good Psychic Scream, though. Dragon Soul, yeah! Surely this doesn't work with N'Zoth, right? Or with Yogg-Saron? That'd be hilarious, but there's no way. I'm just gonna get the weapon in play. Next turn can maybe be like Dragonfire Potion, Twilight's Call, Silence. Probably not in that order. Although maybe in that order. Maybe I silence the Loot Hoarder. But either way, it makes a dragon.
I see gold in your future.
Yeah, I think I like silencing my Loot Hoarder. Because I only have, what, 2 cards left? And I give it +1 attack.
Your magic shall not save you.
Dude, he just gave my guy +1/+1. What a noob.
No. Trust me.
Almost out of cards.
I think I'm just gonna Dragon Fire Potion this board, probably. Might even silence this. Yeah, I definitely want to silence this. It gives me a dragon. Is this after? Yeah, after I cast 3? Oh wait, it's a dragon, so it doesn't die to the Dragon Fire Potion anyway. Unfortunately, if he can't protect himself at all, I do have lethal without Yogg-Saron. Damn it! Well, I did still win the game. This deck was actually surprisingly fun to play. If you get the Dragon Soul down early, you get to make a bunch of 5/5s, which is pretty cool, and it really changes the way you play the game. Like, generally it's probably not correct to play Loot Hoarder and then Shadow Word Paint it, but if that's your third spell and you get to make a 5/5 out of it, then sometimes it is the right play. This weapon definitely forces you to look at the game in a different way, which I think is cool. It also seems reasonably powerful. 5/5s are just good. They have a lot of health. They beat people up pretty hard. I enjoy making 5/5s. But obviously the weapon is weak to ooze type effects, and sometimes you play the weapon and it takes a while before you can actually cast 3 spells in the same turn. So it has its upsides and its downsides, but I had a pretty fun time playing around with it. And of course you don't always draw the Dragon Soul, but I was really impressed with how strong Lyra was in this deck. I mean, maybe it should have been obvious to me that Lyra would be a monster in a deck that has like 20 spells, but I've always found Lyra to be a little underwhelming in other priest decks. To be fair though, I did get pretty lucky how often my Lyra just lived after I played it on turn 5. But damn, this card is strong in a deck with like 20 spells, especially when 10 of them cost 1 or less mana. And then even if Dragon Soul and Lyra are at the bottom, you've always got your Yogg-Saron and Shadowy Brando in win conditions, which is nice. So I did end up making some changes from the first version of the deck. I was playing Master Oakheart, and he just didn't really work out that well. He was pretty inconsistent. So I cut the Oakheart, I cut the 2 Northshire Clerics, which were mostly just in the deck to be pulled by Oakheart. So that gave me 3 slots. I opted to put in 2 Gilded Gargoyles. The main reason I wasn't playing this initially is because sometimes it got pulled by Oakheart instead of the Radiant Elemental, and I really wanted to pull Radiant Elemental plus Lyra, but the Gilded Gargoyle just makes so much sense in this deck. And then I think I also ended up cutting a Shadow Word Horror so I could play Loot Hoarder and Twilight's Call. Twilight's Call is pretty good with your Gilded Gargoyle, you get more coins, and the coins really support the deck very well. But I did want another minion to potentially bring back with the Twilight's Call, so that's why there's also a Loot Hoarder in here now. I'm not sure if only 3 Death Rattle minions is enough to support the Twilight's Call, but the deck draws a lot of cards, and I haven't really felt like it was too much of a liability so far, so I think I like it. Overall, the deck was surprisingly fun. I had a 50% win rate with it, and I'm certainly not complaining about a 50% win rate with some janky off-meta deck. And I would definitely recommend trying it if you happen to have most of the cards. If you're a priest player, you should have pretty much all the expensive cards, other than the weapon and maybe a Yogg-Saron. But if you don't have Yogg-Saron, what are you doing with your life?